Goddamn Electric Nights, a collection of short stories. Written by William Pauley III. Narrated by Brannigan. Slime Night. Crystal Banger is a whore. She's done blown the dust out of every boy's NES cartridge on Mohican Way, and next week I hear she'll be making her way up Cherokee. Girls like that ain't supposed to be sought after. Well, not for anything except sexual favors, maybe. What I mean to say is girls like Crystal ain't the type you bring home to meet your mama. Girls like that shouldn't be the mother of children. Shit, girls like that get pregnant at least 5 times before they reach their 20s, but never have any babies. Instead, they go and get their aunties to take them to go get fetuses scraped out of their wombs and into garbage cans and beg them to not let their parents know. And if they don't have any silent aunties, then they go about it the DIY way with a good old wire hanger. Wire hangers are world-renowned for keeping their silence. Rumor is Crystal's used the wire hanger a few times, enough to be nicknamed Crystal the Wire Hanger Banger. Banger. Such an ironic last name for a girl like Crystal. It's downright cruel of God, if you ask me. I guess now would be just as good a time as any to mention that Crystal Banger is the girl of my dreams. Who am I? My name is Sebastian Spunk. I get a lot of shit for my name too, as you can probably imagine. Maybe subconsciously that's what initially drew me into Crystal's orbit. The fact that I can sympathize with having to grow up with such an awful last name. High school kids are brutal. Nothing gets by them. Nothing. Only thing worse than growing up with a name like Sebastian Spunk is growing up with the nickname my parents gave me as a child, Sebby. Sebby Spunk. That's me, in all my glory. Hi. God is crueler than high school students. Despite the name, I had an okay childhood, I guess. I mean, it wasn't what anyone would call terrible. Sure, I got beat up a time or 3, but really, who hasn't? I've never been popular with the ladies, and oddly, I'm okay with that. I've never really been too keen on girls anyway. Not to say that I am gay, because I've never really been too keen on guys either. For a long time, I just assumed I was asexual. That is, before Crystal came along. Crystal moved to our dirty factory town of Ashland. Oh, our beautiful land of ash. Only 3 months ago, back in February. I definitely remember it being February because, strangely enough, the first time I ever laid eyes on her was on St. Valentine's Day. She walked into Mrs. Atkins' class and sat down at the desk directly in front of me. I'll never forget what she was wearing that day, partially because she wears this same outfit almost every day, but still I would have remembered it even if it had been the only time she'd ever worn it. She was wearing a white t-shirt with the bottom half cut off, ripped jeans, and a thick black leather jacket. There was only enough fabric to her shirt to reach just below her nipples. The undersides of her breasts were as tan as the rest of her torso, suggesting that she probably doesn't spend much time wearing that top, or any top for that matter. Her hair was big and permed, still is. She's a brunette, but not really. She dyes her hair jet black. When I think of a brunette, I think of a reddish-brown shade of hair, not black. But as far as I know, there isn't a term for girls with black hair. Blackheads? No, that can't be right. Darkies? That sounds racist. No, I'm just going to go with brunette. I even remember how quickly the air became thick with cigarette stench as she went to take her seat. I closed my eyes and took it all in. I couldn't stop smiling. It's weird how love works. Never in a million years did I think I'd ever know love. Then all of a sudden love comes walking in through the door and sits down right in front of me. Not only that, but just 2 seconds before she walked into the classroom, I had found a blank Spider-Man Valentine resting on the very seat she came and sat down in. It was like the universe wanted to prepare my heart for what it was about to do. Beat so hard that I could feel it bulging out of my chest from between the bones of my ribcage. I sometimes wonder what would have happened if the Valentine hadn't been there to prepare me. I wonder if my heart would have exploded. Weird how shit happens sometimes. Speaking of weird shit, check this out. So Kayla Richards, my best friend since before kindergarten, and I were sitting at the Carmichael Bowl-O-Rama.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?